Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the CHOFETZ CHAIM, talking about this concept of to'elis, when you are allowed to tell over lashon hara and negative information about a person when there's going to be some kind of a benefit that comes from it. Now he writes today in the Hagah, in the notes, "Uba'ofen ze eino muter." In the scenario over here, "Ba'ofen ze eino muter," says the Gemara, in a scenario where Reuven reports Shimon's mistreatment of Levi because he wants to discourage people from going in Shimon's path of iniquity. Reuven is only allowed to do such a thing only if Levi is already aware of the mistreatment that he received from Shimon. He was robbed, he was cheated, he was damaged. Then Reuven is allowed to go and tell other people to keep them away from Shimon. However, if this matter was not yet disclosed to Levi, which means Levi does not know that he was harmed by Shimon, nearest as the CHOFETZ CHAIM, it would seem to be she'asar l'saper la'acherim, Reuven would not be allowed to go and tell other people what Shimon did to Levi. Why? Because it's going to end up causing an animosity between Levi and Shimon when Levi will find out about it, and this will be a violation of the prohibition called rechilas, where you are a talebearer. We're going to explain the laws of rechilas later on. The Isser Rechilas hu afilu im, the prohibition of Rechilas is even if Misaper li echad masheploni dibra vi'asa neged ploni, when the prohibition of Rechilas applies, that even if Reuven tells Yehuda what Shimon did to Levi, pen yivader lihanida in the chavra isla, since that there's a concern that people speak and the information is going to pass around naturally, and then Levi is going to have a hatred to Shimon for what he did. So now your lashon hara caused Shimon to hate, caused Levi to hate Shimon. So you did the wrong thing, says the CHOFETZ CHAIM. You're not allowed to do such a thing, which is a wondrous Peladic thing to understand over here, even though you're going to benefit other people, but if you're going to cause your words to be construed as rechilas, which is a prohibition, and you're going to cause Levi, who is the object of Shimon's misdeeds, to hate Shimon, can't do such a thing. However, he writes, "V'ayim beber ma'im chaim," look inside the beber ma'im chaim to see what he writes over there, and there he says that if Reuven's intent in informing others is for the sake of helping Levi retrieve the money that Shimon stole from him, he is permitted to do so even at the risk of causing the animosity and the hatred between Levi and Shimon. So if my to'elis, my benefit that I have in mind is by telling other people what Shimon did to Levi is going to help them to get the money back or whatever the damages were from Shimon to pay Levi, then I'm allowed to do such a thing. So this, as the CHOFETZ CHAIM, is a side point, but an important point, just showing once again how careful you have to be when you want to tell over words of lashon hara, rechilas, or to'elis, that it's not so pashut, it's not so simple. You can just always do what you think is going to be beneficial for another person, when there are other sins that could come about as a result of your words that you're saying. Have a wonderful day.